Hello everybody, welcome to Flakpanzer's channel, and in this video I'm going to be planning on going over my character sheets for what kind of characters I run in war and why. So up until now, what we're going to go over is I like to run SMGs with anti-tank weapons. So I run a rocket of the Ampulomet. You could do a M9A1 or a Panzerschreck, or you could do the M1A1, but I prefer to use the Implement as it has the highest damage and it also is the cheapest to buy initially, and to run all the rocket propelled weapons are about the same price. So my initial cost is the cheapest. I also like to run an SMG with these type of weapons because I'm better with CQC against enemies than I am with a SVT as an example. My next character that I would go through is, again, I like to use SMGs. It's a landmine. Landmines are very, very useful for crossings and for defensive purposes. I highly recommend getting a character with landmines. That could be the factions landmines of the TM35s. You could do the German Tellermine or the American one. It makes no difference. But I highly recommend getting a landmine character. Next is my APC driver. Now he runs the driver gold ribbon and the mechanic gold ribbon. The reason for the two is that he gets into the APC and drives off. There's no getting in, starting the car, deciding I'm going to put it in drive, and then go. He's an APC driver. This is all he does. So he fixes the APC and he drives the APC, and he has the other two. He has both APCs available. Color choices is up to you. I have this just as a for funsies, but I don't really use this one. I use this one more often. Next character is going to be one of my LMG characters. He runs the Maxim Tokarev. I'm starting to get used to the Maxim Tokarev as far as an LMG. He has a grenade and a med kit. You could do grenade and med kit, or you could do just two med pouch. It's up to you. For my particular playstyle, I don't live long enough to live for the second med kit, so for me, one is good enough. Still working on his heavy set badge, and I'm not sure if I'm going to change the Marathon Man. I kind of like the Marathon Man for this particular character. Next character will be my AVS character. I run full RPM, no bullet. I recommend getting a Nagant or a Tula for your secondary, and then a med bag. And the reason for the pistol is because if you mess up on the 15 rounds of the AVS, you want to have some sort of backup with it. A wrench doesn't do because the guy is going to be in your face and you'll have to kind of rush him to do it, or a knife. Grenades also don't work because they're explosive. The guy will kill you considering your CQC with the guy. So I recommend the pistol. I like the Nagant because that fully upgraded Nagant, it's going to be a one-hit kill if you hit the guy once with your AVS. So if you hit the guy with the AVS for 2 bullets and you needed 4, the Nagant will finish him off with 1 shot. Moving on to the next character is the PTRS. I recommend getting a PTRS in the game. This is a very good weapon against planes and some light tanks. It's great against light vehicles. I recommend getting fast reload with this. I do also recommend getting a pocket pistol fully upgraded and a med kit with it. But I have not worked on the pocket pistol as much for this particular character, but it is very useful to get. Next character, I have a bolt action rifle character. It's not finished yet. I need to get a med kit as well, a med pouch for this particular character. Same concept. If I hit him once with the bolt action rifle and he's not dead, the pistol will kill him in 1 shot. And it's faster to pull out the pistol than reloading or recocking the next round with the bolt action rifle and switching to the pistol. I have to get the med pouch for this character. I have not worked on it yet. I'm also working on getting heavy set, and I'd like to get camouflage for this character. But moving on. The next character is my DT character. The DT character, I'm not 100% liking the DT anymore. Don't like the sights as much. And again, I run the DT with a grenade and a med kit. Same concept as the MT. I don't live long enough to go for a second med kit. Still working on heavy set. I'm not sure what I'm going to run for its secondary badge. Moving on to the DP. Now the DP is my favorite weapon in the game. Hands down. I have the most kills with this particular weapon. As you can see, I'm 423 hours with it. 35,000 kills compared to every other gun in the game. This is by far my favorite weapon in the game. I recommend running it fully modded with the 7M1 sniper bullet. I recommend using fast reload gold, and I'm still working on getting heavy set for this particular character. Next character that I have is the mechanic. Now my mechanic runs with the same DP type gun because that's my favorite weapon. I recommend getting a wrench. I recommend also using a medkit and getting binoculars. Binoculars are very useful for the repairman because once you're fixed repairing, you can bino the enemy tanks that the tanker can't see, and if you're on voice comms with that particular tanker, then he can shoot the tank and just shoot blindly at your spot. If you're the squad leader, you can spot him with the Q button and putting a Q and left click, and he can just shoot the spot and kill the tank without even knowing, without visibly seeing him. Moving on to the next character. This is another fun character. This is my newest and favorite character to use lately. He runs the SMG, which is the PPSH with the Misha bullet and full RPM. This is the highest rate of fire SMG in the game. And again, SMG, not assault rifle. And the reason I run Car Thief Gold with this character is that if you spawn on somebody else's vehicle and you clear out the point with this particular character, and let's say the person that you spawned on, he decided to take off and go to the next point, you're now stuck at that point and having to walk or take a civvy truck. Or you go to the back as to where the enemy came with bikes and jeeps for you, go steal a bike, drive it to the next location where you wanted to go, then turn around and shoot the fuel tank of that bike, and you can now get XP for both stealing and destroying, and it got you to the point. This particular character also does very well on encounters, as enemy players will tend to spawn a lot of APCs. This thing will steal APCs within seconds, and you can steal APCs like crazy if you don't want to go and destroy them. So this is a fun character to use. Recommend getting Heavy Set Gold and Car Thief Gold. Okay, moving on to the next character. My next character is the PMK character. Now I recommend getting Heavy Set and Dynamite Lover with this character and a med bag. Still working on this particular character. I like the SMG, this particular SMG. I might go back to my PPSH. I haven't decided yet. But this particular character is fun because you can put PMKs on defensive positions or attacking positions. As an example, if you're attacking, go place the PMKs where you think the enemy team will most likely spawn, or the highest routes that they plan on taking. And it's like Hansel and Gretel. You put them down and go to your final destination and watch them pop off one by one as they step on them as they go by, trying to find you on the point. So this is a fun character to use on assault. On defense, you can put these in defensive positions so that the enemy team can't attack, or they have to look down the entire time to look to see where your PMKs are. And if they end up shooting your PMKs, considering you're on defense, you know exactly where they are, and you end up going to where they are and shooting them. So I highly recommend getting a character like this. I also do recommend using this particular camo on the character because the Palm Amoeba Mountain has a little bit of white in them, and most indoor buildings have white on the walls, and sometimes they will just walk right by you, not even realizing that you were in front of you. And so, yeah, you want to use the Palm Amoeba White, Palm Amoeba Mountain camo on the particular character for indoor CQC type um, uh, fighting. The next character that I have is, I think, is the SVT. SVT is my least favorite weapon in this particular game, but I do have them. Um, I recommend having at least one SVT fully modified. I'd recommend using no bullet and then using all the rest of the mods on it. I do recommend getting a grenade and a med pouch. I haven't worked on this character. He's up and coming. It's a good character to figure out which direction you want to go with your characters. But I recommend having at least one with a med bag and a grenade and going at it. Next characters that I'm going to go through are your fighter pilot. Now, the fighter pilots, I recommend having at least one character with the Yak and the LA7 on the character. And you want to have the PE3 all running APCR. The Yak, I would recommend using HE. It's a very good plane to fight against infantry. I would also recommend getting a second pilot with both the LA7 and the Yak to have reversed. APCR on the Yak and LA7 to be HE and the plane to be HE. So you want to have two pilots. Recon plane, if you plan on playing it, I highly recommend running it with HE only in war. You don't need APCR. It's not needed. You're not going to shoot vehicles. It can't do anything. It's really a poor plane against vehicles on the ground. HE will do just as fine. The idea is to kill infantry on the ground and maybe bomb them a few times, and that's about it. Air-to-air combat is rare on the Soviet side, so don't even bother running APCR on your pilot. Moving on to Paratrooper, I recommend at least one Paratrooper. If you plan on doing anti-tank paratrooping, that's fine. If you're planning on doing just CQC paratrooping, then again, Palm Amoeba Mountain is the way to go. And I run a fully modded SMG, which is the PPS. And I run the barrel on this particular character because I land on rooftops with this particular character, and you need that extra range. So I run this with the med kit, running the Hoarder badge and the Free Fall badge on the character. I'm working on a second one, but he's not up and ready yet. Moving on to Tank Crewman. I run my primary tank crew. He is at this point in time, I'm still working on his because my other tanker went general. Fast gunner recommended, mechanic recommended. There is no badge. There is no camo for this character. Soviets don't come with a camo. I run these particular tanks on the character, the KV, the BT7, the T-34-76, and the SU-100. I have a second tanker. He has a legacy character. He runs the IS-2, the T-34-85, the SU-85, and the T-70. This particular character is a camo. Is a legacy character. He was able to switch careers. I recommend getting one of these because he has the camouflage badge. This is a fun build to run for top tier tanks because you shoot somebody, they don't know where you're shooting from if you can hide. Gunner Gold, I recommend. This particular build requires you to have friendly support, and I recommend it with the top tier tanks because if you don't have friendly support wrenching your tank, then you're not going to be able to spawn again anyway. So that's why I run the top tier tanks on this character. Moving on to Recon. Recons, I recommend one of your Recons to be a mechanic Recon. So PPS-H if possible. I'm still working on this character. And a wrench. And running all of the armored cars. So BA-11, BA-64B, BA-6, and the motorcycle because you have space. Recommend running this because it can You'll be the driver. You do driver, mechanic gold, and you want to do infantry first gold. That does more damage to enemy armored cars, enemy cars whenever you are the shooter. If you're the driver, you don't do anything extra. But this gives you extra damage whenever you shoot something that is of low infantry vehicles or jeeps, bikes, stuff like that. I also do recommend using the leaf swamp camo. This makes it a little bit more difficult when you jump out of the vehicle to be seen because you look like the ground and there's a lot of ground areas on the map. Next character I recommend is getting a Recon, just with a Recon rifle, a pocket pistol, and a med kit. And I recommend heavy set and possibly camouflage or fast reload, depending on your playstyle. But I'm probably going to get camo on this character because I like to play camo with the Recon. That concludes all my characters in War as to how I play. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions about this video, please come visit me on twitch.tv/Flak_Panzer, and I'll answer any questions as to why I do what I do. So have a good one, everybody, and see you in the next video.